Hello everyone, this is XanderTuron and I am back with the No Brexits Allowed tournament. I left my microphone muted, so now I am having to do this in post. Because of course. Anyway, that being said, so yeah, that's why, if you notice, I'll be doing a lot of gesturing with my mouse. Because, I was speaking because, yeah, I was. I just, left my microphone muted. Anyway, so, No Brexits Allowed tournament, blah, blah, blah. This is the semi-finals, and I am against morfeusz. That's his name. Okay. As I've mentioned before when doing posts, I have to rely on this tiny-ass low resolution preview thing in Power Director to actually see what's happening. But yeah, I don't really know what to say at the moment. Just throwing down the dudes. Going to be doing a relatively similar opener to what I did in my first round battle on this map. That's probably the best way to put it. And yeah, I don't know, I probably won't be speaking much for the deployment because it's not really a whole lot to say. It's pretty much a standard deployment that I do on this map, I guess. Or pretty typical of what I would normally do. Yeah, was at this point my cat decided to walk across my keyboard and hit the shortcut for opening up Shadow Play there. Fun fact, if I'd been paying attention when that happened, I would have noticed that my microphone was muted. Such is life. Anyway, so here we go, getting everything started pretty... my starts are just so slow. And as you notice, I'm sending my Tiger to Bravo first and then moving it over to Charlie. As my worries that helicopters into Bravo turned out not the right call to make, as you will see shortly. If I had sent my Tiger immediately to Charlie, things probably would have worked out a bit better. As yep, you can see there some XH7s. And they're fast, so if my Tiger had headed them off, it would have been a lot better. Call correctly in the links, there's SAS, SBS, and I think the Puma has Gurkha 90 in there. So yeah, get the Puma because it's slower. And then this is just... I should have pulled back my Tiger at this point. Instead I just flew it right over. Just let it fly in. Kind of started pulling it back too late. Yeah, SBS starts shooting at it. Yep, gets stunned. Flying helicopters over for us. Bad idea. And of course, since I had no ground base A going there, the Lynx is kind of doing a number on me. So I'm just sending in my Peace Rhino to try and whack one. It was landed, so the Peace Rhino hit it with a Maverick. And then here I'm like trying to figure out, where do I want to put everybody? Yeah, you see my opponent is putting a fair few things into Charlie. He's trying to do, doing the 2-point push. It's kind of it's one of the things you want to do. Of course, the thing you want to keep in mind is that when it comes to doing the 2-point push, you want to make sure you have Bravo, at least the top part of Bravo. Otherwise, it's really annoying to reinforce. But hey, he wiped out all my guys in Charlie, so yeah, it's not particularly good. And yeah. So at this point, I'm just trying to coordinate everybody and then figure out what I'm doing in Charlie. What am I doing to make that not a bad situation? And meanwhile, my lawn's just missing. I don't have any recon. So I'm like, oh, hey, BGS, that's a thing I can bring. And then for whatever reason, my opponent is flying his H7s directly over top of my Fallschirmjäger and Fuchs. And that ends predictably poorly. And then there's a Stormer over in that tree. Over by the buildings where people like to put ATGMs. So that's just kind of got one of my Fuchs. Oh no. And now I'm just relocating my Fallschirmjäger in case they start taking fire. And I'm like, oh, I can see a Stormer. I should send my Peace Rhine after it. But I just not maintaining very good line of sight. Like I said, I just don't have a lot of recon in the middle right now. Or none at all, basically. And, yeah. So I hope as of May I can try and bait into shooting with my Fuchs and have the Peace Rhine in the right spot to hit it. Also getting some flank security because, Charlie. Not a great position. And I wasn't paying attention, so my Fuchs dead. And my Peace Rhine is not in position to hit the, Stormer. So I'm like, oh hey, I just get some eyes, get some recon, get some, Sperrpanzerdukes out. Everyone likes that. It's BGS. And for whatever reason, my Jupiter overshot the turn because fast move. It does that. And then yeah, it's just Fallschirmjäger are not in a great spot, and of course they were between buildings right as the Chieftain shot at him, so they took a big hit. It's a Mark III. So it's decently tough. And I got fortune here that my M113s just caught the SAS as they're walking in the open. The thing is, my opponent didn't seem to put very many things into Charlie, a lot of units. It really just looked like it was in those helicopters and that's it. Everything else seems to be in Bravo or in Foxtrot. And then I'm trying to get my Fallschirmjäger back. Yeah, he said this is his main force here, I do believe. For whatever reason, it's arriving a bit later than it should be. More quick. I never looked at the replay after this, so I'm not too sure what all my opponent did. Meanwhile, he is sending in Pumas. And I'm like, more it's Pumas. I need AA. So I'm sending up my spare Panzer. Meanwhile, the Gurkhas are Gurkha 90 about to bum rush my Fallschirmjäger. And then at this point, I fail to notice that my Luke is being engaged by some SAS in the buildings there. So I just never noticed that it died. I think I lost another one or two at this point after that. Before I realized, oh shit, there's SAS in there. There's some sass. At this point, I'm just trying to stabilize my position. For whatever reason, he flies the Pumas over top of my guys. This is, not where you really want to have your helicopters. One of the Jaeger gets gunned down in the open, but hey, that's line infantry for you. And then, yeah, my BGS died to the Stormer. Because I was not paying attention. And I'm like, alright. I decided to just get command infantry for Echo here. As well as you notice, for a reason, basically the volume slider on my keyboard is not a button like in normal is, button to increase volume, button to decrease volume. No, it's a little spinny thing that, for for whatever reason, does not always stay in place. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I don't know the details of it all. So every now and then it will like start flipping around, or like will shift a bit. And when it does that, because of how, for whatever reason, the default hotkey for one of the flares, for just the custom flare for typing out message, is plus volume. It's plus volume for whatever reason. Or not necessarily plus volume, but for whatever reason, whatever the input from my keyboard gets interpreted being whatever as of the volume wheel on my keyboard gets interpreted as being whatever the hotkey for that flare is. It's really annoying. So every now and then, you know, I have this goddamn flare being typed out when I'm trying to maneuver the camera around. It's really fun, really fun. And then yeah, some Gurkha 90 caught in the open by my Leopard 2. And by my Panzergrenadier, but the Challenger 1 Mark III is shooting at him. And it has 8 rounds minute with 4 HE, so it can really put the hurt on some infantry. So at this point, I'm like trying to just get, you know, bring my fire support to bear, get my BGS position where they can actually see things, you know, all that fun stuff. And then I get another peace shrine. I have 4 of those things. I was debating upvetting them, but then decided to go with now just have 4 peace shrines. That'll be more fun. So I'm taking at +1, not an ideal position because I don't have my 2-pointer though. I'd much rather be taking at +2. So yeah, so peace shrine gets 1 hit on the Challenger and starts taking fire. I'm trying to get my peace shrine to go after the Stormer. And he gets it, which is good. So at this point, Bravo's mostly secure. I just need to figure out what to do with the Challenger 1 Mark III. That's just kind of creeping around. And Neuron Morpheus is doing kind of a very limp-wristed push into Echo. Just some infantry. The biggest threat is that Chieftain Mark 11 or whatever. And for whatever reason, my Milan just doesn't want to kill it. It's only gone like 1 hit on it. Because that's Milan's. Actually doing its job is overrated. And yep, so my opponent captures his 2-pointer, which is what, Delta or whatever. So he's taking a +1 now. And I'm getting a CV in Charlie and some security with the Weasels. Warrior Milan shooting at me. Because yeah, of course. So I'm gonna just get a Recon Leopard in the middle. Panzerflare 1A1. Or was it Panzerflare Leopard 1A1? However it's pronounced. And meanwhile, yeah, he has recon somewhere in there, so that Challenger spotted my Panzergrenadiers when they left the building. Meanwhile, my BGS don't want to get in the building because, yeah, of course. And I can also spot his mortars. That's one of the problems with relying on 81mm mortars is that, you know, they're seen. I think actually my peace shrine did get the Challenger, but now there's just the Gurkhas right in front. That's what spotted my Panzergrenadier. But that's not much of a problem to deal with. And then yeah, the Milans are shooting at my Leopard 2A1. Not good, those are Milan 2s, so if they hit, yeah, they take a nice big chunk out of my HP. So I'm just moving up the Mark 2s. Because, you know, they're tailor-made to wreck vehicles like the Warrior. Well, the Warrior is tailor-made to just be completely and totally awful in this game. And then yeah, so just some Gurkhas. They catch my Fallschirmjäger on the open with no fire support, so yeah, my Fallschirmjäger having a bad day. I'm just trying to get my Panzergrenadiers into position. And then I'm also getting Kyler. And meanwhile, I'm just trying to maneuver my Fallschirmjäger so I can bring my Panzer Grenadier and fire support to bear. It's literally just the MG3s on the Fuchs and the M113, but hey, poor fire support is better than no fire support. Then I also have the mortar firing on M110 because, yeah, M110s are fun. In the right situation. They're not universally useful. And now also, since I captured Charlie, I am taking a +1 now. However, it's not exactly a great position I'm in Charlie because I only have the bottom part of it, so my opponent can, put stuff in the top part of it. Less than preferable. So I'm just trying to move up stuff so I can, see if it's secure. And if not, secure it. I don't do a very good job of it just because I'm just kind of spreading my points a bit thin at this part, just because, I did some big hits at the beginning, especially like losing my Tiger and losing basically all my guys in Charlie, so that's less than preferable. I'm just trying to secure, I'm just trying to secure 3 zones at once, and it's spreading my points thin. That's basically what it comes down to. And there's also the fact that there's still the SAS in those buildings there that I have not done anything about. I'm just moving dudes up. Meanwhile, that's just taking some artillery fire. I do believe you're shooting 203s at me. I didn't really see where it came from. I just decided to just randomly fire at it to see if I could stun it or cause some morale damage, so just accuracy goes to hell. It's just, I don't know. And I'm fortunate that Stormer's not there anymore, otherwise that BGS would have died in its transport. And then I just, leave it out in the open because, yeah, that's useful. Same with this. I'm like, oh no, ATGM's going to be shooting at me. Even though if there's any ATGMs that would be shooting at me, they would be shooting at me already. So yeah, that's when I see the pool. I'm like, I don't like that. Let's get some AA. And just keep moving up, and then around this point I noticed that I don't have a Lux in the middle, even though I've called out a couple there already. You kind of see the burning wreck of one of them. And I'm just, moving guys up just to get some sort of eyes around Bravo. And then, you can see my volume doing its thing again. So at this point I'm like, alright, let's figure out what's happening. Call it a Tiger, because I thought it was maybe just SBS or something at first. Then I think eventually realized, oh wait, it could be SAS, so, a helicopter against SAS? It's not a great idea. Who would have thunk it? And then I just start blind firing into Foxtrot, just, I don't know, something to do. I didn't really make very good use of my M110s in this battle, didn't keep them firing. Definitely was not liberal enough with my usage of them. And then, I noticed, those are some burned out looks, so there's some SAS somewhere in these buildings. Or not necessarily SAS, but some sort of infantry. It is SAS, as you can see. At this point I'm like, okay, get some fire support, get some infantry on it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be going in with my Tiger. Don't have any recon to keep eyes on them though, so it's going to be annoying trying to engage them, especially in buildings. Yeah. So I noticed that they're moving into the buildings there, so I just start firing my mortar at it. See if I can get some morale damage. I also completely forgot about my Milan there. I'm just moving it up there, see if it draws fire or anything. You know, send things somewhere. If it dies, the enemy has something nearby. That's how you do things. Or at least that's how I do things. Well, of course, that only works when I'm actually paying attention to what's happening. So I figure, hey, you know what, I want to get that tick going again, so I call out CV for Bravo. And yeah, of course, you know, since the mortar's just blind firing, it's really not hitting anywhere close to the building. And then there's a plane there. I think it's just a Tornado F2. Yeah, it looks like a Tornado F2. But there's a helicopter or something there. Or is it a plane? Like a Harrier? Actually, it might be a Harrier. Yeah, it's like it's a Harrier. It's like a Harrier. Was it the Sea Harrier F-82 or something? It's the seed plane. That's what it was. That's why it just blapped one of my Gepards. And meanwhile, yeah, the SAS are just taking apart my infantry. But my KPZ-70, geez, I cannot speak, is now there. So yeah, now I'm just trying to, you know, bring to bear some fire support. And meanwhile, I just don't have anybody here to really hold the top of Charlie, so I'm just about to get overwhelmed there. You know, Challenger 1 Mark 1 shows up, you're not gonna have a bad day. Especially because I let my Panzer of Claris keep shooting, so it's getting shot up by a chieftain. So I'm just like, okay, send in the peace friends. Just need to keep my Jaeger alive long enough that my peace friends can get there and do something. Easier said than done when there's only H7 shooting at you. Just moving it back and forth to try and keep it alive. Yeah. Bit of a waste there. Peace Friend just missed both shots on the chieftain, because of course. Meanwhile, yeah, the SAS are down. H7 is flying in Gepard range, which is always nice. I like it when the enemy helicopters fly within range of my anti-helicopter AA. Of course, the fun part is I kind of forgot I have my PH2 Tiger there on the left. I was being very conservative with it at points just because I never know where the SAS is going to be. And then just manipulating these guys around just so my Milan has better line of sight. Fortunately, a few Southern 90 are kind of pants against infantry, so my Jaeger are just taking him apart. And then I have, yeah, some more stuff. Or, not really more stuff, but I just have, you know... took out the SAS, so now I can move up my recon. There we go, I cannot speak some days. Or, I cannot formulate proper sentences and ideas. So now I'm like, okay, I have no eyes at the top of Charlie, let's maybe get a recon unit there to get me some eyes. So, here we go, Stinger C's here to let me down. 70% accuracy, why should I hit? So yeah, turn off the weapons just to make sure it doesn't waste them on something that's not really valuable. And then I'm like, oh hey, Challenger 1 Mark 1, that could be a good target. And then yeah, was it morfeusz dropped off some command infantry in Charlie. They're actually right by where that Challenger 1 Mark 1 is, and that basically the very top of that block of trees. And then, oh hey, there's some infantry shooting at me in buildings because I flew over top of buildings with a helicopter. That thing I tell people, I say, you know, don't do that. And look what I do. I did it. And then there's some SAS back there. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, just get out of there. And at this point, what I should have been doing is I should have been just bombarding the entire top part of Charlie with my M110, but I just didn't think to do it. I have it on hotkey. It's very easy for me to do. But I didn't. And yeah, FE was a 271 Fox. Such trash, but then again, one of the defining flavors of UK and Commonwealth in general is having awful recon. So yeah, I don't know. Spare Panzerdukes just taking her apart. Like honestly, I'm pretty sure the only advantage that Commonwealth recon has over West German recon is just better recon infantry, like, you know, Green Jackets and SBS. Neither of which are particularly good, but when you're facing a nation that has literally nothing comparable to it, it's better than nothing. That's something I see people do a lot, especially in like RTS games. Like, you know, my equivalent to my opponent's team or faction, whatever, is not as good. Therefore, I'm not going to use it at all, and then complain that I don't have access to that tool. Like, even if, you know, your equivalent's not good, you still use it. Like, I just don't get that attitude. It's not. It depends on the, like, it's more widespread in some games than others, and depending on the community. Not so much in this game, but it is something I've noticed. Regardless, that's just kind of an odd tangent I just went on. And now, so I'm just putting more Milans into Bravo because I love me some ATGMs I can barely hit. Yeah. I upvetted it, doesn't matter. And then, yeah, I'm just going to move up these Panzer Grenadier with no fire support. I'm sure that's going to end well. Some sass shooting at him up. Yeah, SAS really are not particularly great against infantry. However, when there's a Challenger 1 or whatever shooting at the infantry, that also tends to even the odds. That's why the peace runs are coming out. Because honestly, my opponent's air defense was not particularly great. Mine wasn't very good either, but I was a bit more prone to abusing it in this battle, I'd say. You know, I'm just getting frustrated with the flare thing over there. It's a bit overkill for one Challenger, but yeah. And then yeah, I'm just trying to get my mortars to bear, but Panzer Grenadier just getting shot up. And then yeah, my opponent's firing his M110s at me. And meanwhile, yeah, this Tornado F2 is going in after my F4F. Fortunately, I have a roll in 3, so it goes down. And then the other Tornado is going in, so I'm like, yeah, I'll trade a F4F for 2 Tornado 2s. And I came out alive. Funny how that works sometimes. Remember, the F4F KWS is just terror bad. Okay, not terror bad, just very unreliable in terms of getting hits on planes. Because reasons. And then meanwhile, I'm setting up these here vehicles or tanks unsupported by infantry, even though I'm facing UK, which has an abundance of LOL 80s, which are very good at taking out tanks in close quarters. Guess I'm a genius like that. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadier just taking apart the SAS. And oh, hey, look, my KPZ-70 got side-shotted by some Fusilier 90. What did I just say about LOL 80s? So at this point, I'm like, okay, I just move up this mostly dead squad Jaeger. And then, yeah, there's somebody shooting at my M113s from the buildings over there. Or forest or something. And then, yeah, some more Milans up there. Really not the most intimidating thing. And that's just a supply truck that I should not have blown up. I should have tried capturing it. You know, resupply my dudes. Fortunately, my Harrier G07 is doing a number on me, but the my radar micro is not horrible in this game. So yeah. And then just that, I don't even know if that was a kill, because it got hit right as an evac, so it can be pretty iffy if it counts. And then there's whatever's in that building shooting. I think it might be SBS, I'm not sure. I don't even know if I don't think I've actually confirmed that I got it. It's just stopped being a thing, but I was still worried about it, so I was just like, oh my god, there's infantry there. But yeah, it's the SBS from earlier that shot up my Tiger. Well, that's what I'm sure it was, because I never saw this SBS again. And for whatever reason, I decided I wanted to send my peace shrine out against some warrior Milans. I don't know why. It's really not the greatest, most worthwhile target for it. Really not particularly dangerous, especially when I have Mortar 2s ready to engage at close quarters. Though at this point I didn't know if the SBS was still alive, so I'm like, oh, I should probably be careful with my Mortar 2s. And then yeah, there's some more Milans in there as well. Mortar 2 is taking its sweet time against the warrior. It's stunned. So the warrior is really not getting damage. The Mortar 2 is perfectly fine. It should be getting hits, but it's not. I wasn't paying attention to my leopard 2 one, so I got blapped. Basically the story of my life. I wasn't paying attention, so my units died. Such is life. For whatever reason, my Milan decided it didn't want to be in the building. And there's a chieftain coming at me. Fortunately, it's slow, so it's taking its sweet time to come at me. Got my Lukes. Setting a peace shrine at it. Send another Lukes out there. Probably, maybe I should have swapped it out for the 1A1, but whatever. I do what I want. Meanwhile, over here, yeah. Spear Panzer Luke's winning a close-range gunfight against a warrior Milan. Because of course. Obviously the Lukes would have gotten the drop on it because of stealth and optics and whatnot, but still, it's just, oh my god. How can one family of vehicles just be so pathetic? Oh look, I'm finally shooting at something with my 110s. So at this point I'm trying to figure out, you know, where is this CV? You know, not really thinking to bombard the hell out of the top right corner of that forest there. I queued up like 2 salvos. I should have done like 3 or 4. Just to make sure I just absolutely saturated it. And then I killed off my Looks with the artillery barrage. Maybe a bit overkill, but these things are pretty cheap to resupply, so whatever floats your boat, I guess. And then here comes the Milan 2s I completely forgot about. I'm like, oh no, lost on Martyr 2. I'm like, yeah, that warrior Milan is somehow still alive. I didn't point out, but yeah, my opponent is taking up +1. Which is, you know, he's taking up +1 for right now. I couldn't tell you the scores because I can't read the numbers on this screen. But it's not looking good for me right now. So I get more A because, you know, Lynxes are fun. And then, oh hey, a Stormer! Oh no. That is not good news for my Tiger, especially as it's getting shot at by a warrior. However, somehow my Tiger, I think, actually got a hit on the Stormer because it was still moving and wasn't stopping to shoot. And meanwhile, my F4F is just being disappointing. And yeah, so somehow my Tiger survives that. Pretty fortunate of me. And it's just flailing around with its ATGMs, just throwing them everywhere. And yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, Jaeger taking out some Fusiliers. And I'm just like, okay, let's get some BGS and a Milan. You know, my opponent keeps coming down that road, so let's get stuff to stop it from coming down that road. Meanwhile, I'm just still trying to take care of this goddamn warrior Milan. And yeah, Martu finally got it because I had like 1 HP left. So now I'm just like, okay, spread out. And yeah, so just keep advancing. At this point, I figure, okay, the CV has to be in there. I don't know what kind of CV it is. I thought maybe it was an armored CV. But nope, just an HQ section. And go. And then Harrier GR3. Which is that the rocket plane? Or no, no, is it? The GR, was it the GR4 or 5 is the bomber or whatever. And yeah, Challenger 1 Mark 1 over there. At this point I'm like, okay, let's shift focus. I just broke the enemy's momentum in Charlie, so now I'm going to try and shift over to Foxtrot. Because I'm taking at +1. I'm down by a fair margin. Less than 8 minutes left, I need to do something. And I had a bunch of points built up, so yeah, wasn't too bad. And at this point I'm just trying to organize these guys, get the supply truck back. You know, be useful. And then I had just this pair of Kylers that are a bit slow to the party, so I'm just moving them to the middle there. So just reposition everybody in case my opponent attacks again in Charlie. Yeah, basically at this point I'm banking on there not being him not spending a lot of points on Foxtrot. You know, we both committed a fair number of points to Charlie, so now I'm hoping, okay, I might be able to get an overmatch in Foxtrot. Because I wasn't very confident trying to push Delta and leaving Charlie exposed. Instead, my Kyler, for whatever reason, decides it doesn't want to hit its target. Then it's only 50% accuracy base, so can't entirely blame it on that. There's only so much you can do with one unit. Only so much can be expected of a 70-point tank, apparently. Who would have thunk it? And then I'm like, okay, since I'm focusing on Echo now, I'm going to need more AA. And that Wormelon is still alive in the middle. For a reason, I guess my units decide that they don't want to kill warriors. I don't know why. And then I also forgot that I had the Martyr 2 and the Leopard 2 and 1 over there, so I'm like, that could be something I could do. You know, don't just attack across, you know, a single narrow lane, you know. Attack against a wide lane. I was trying to figure out what I have, and yeah, the ferret is in the middle or whatever. The swing fires. It's kind of a funny little unit. It's a recon ATGM. You can upvet it. Maybe it'll hit something. That's 22 AP. It'll do some damage if it hits. Too bad the missiles are kind of slow. And then yeah, just a Lynx H7 TOW2 over there. So I'm like, okay, let's bring up the Gepard. Yeah, but since and this is one of the problems, you know, if you're attacking across a narrow gap or in a very narrow space, you're going to get absolutely wrecked by a single 203mm mortar or 203 howitzer shell hitting you. Kind of what just happened to me there. And then, yeah, Falcon. And then, oh hey, there's a Challenger 2 and warriors and just everything coming down the middle there. That is not good. So, and then he got my recon, so I'm like, oh, I am blind. I am very blind. I cannot see. So now I'm just like, okay, I've got to figure this situation out. If I recall correctly, he had like a Falcon or whatever. You know, literally one of the worst AA pieces in the game. But he has it, so that's going to be a problem for things like my Tiger. Actually, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst. It's not particularly good, though. So I'm just trying to get recon and just stuff and guys and dudes and things. Try to get my piece trying to do something. Got a mortar. Gotta give one hit on the Challenger 2, but now I'm flying over a forest. Bad place to be. So yeah, it's just getting shot up by the Falcon at close range, so it's doing a lot of damage, and there it goes. So I still have one more Tiger, so I'm like, okay, I'm grabbing that. Third time's the charm, right? So yeah, it's coming down to this. And yeah, just moving my Führungsgruppe so it's less exposed in case the Challenger comes down that road. And now I'm like, okay, time to split up and search for clues. And by that I mean find the CV. So yeah, War is just going to drive to my area. Found the CV there, so I'm taking at like +1 or whatever. Falcon's just shooting at my stuff. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he wants to bring out a super heavy, I'll bring out my own super heavy. I have the points. I keep building them up. And yeah, just constantly flying sorties from my peace friends, trying to just keep his tanks suppressed. I'm not even bothering going for side shots, just trying to keep him damaged. Or just keep him suppressed by damaging him, though. Don't give him room to breathe and whatnot. And then, yep, he puts counter caps my zone there. Echo with command infantry, pretty obviously placed, so I was like, okay, I'll just fire my artillery at that. At this point, my 2A1s are engaging a Leopard 2 at point blank range. They got a nice crit on it, which is pretty fortunate. I'm like, okay, Challenger 2 time. Or, okay, Peace Rhine time to get the Challenger 2. But I think he actually smokes it off at the, yeah, right at the last second he gets the smoke on it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just take a Chieftain instead. Too bad it misses. Because of course. So I got my Leopard 2A5 moving up with the Lux. Lux dies, of course. Get the Falcon. And I can see the Leopard 2 there, or the Challenger 2. Tiger's going after it, gets a hit. Peace Rhines. Not seeing anything. See area there. And the GR3, whichever one that one is. I think it's is that the bomber or is it the rocket plane? I can't remember. I know that my FRF is just being disappointing. And yeah, just flying the Tiger just right over the top. You know, why not? No guts, no glory. And I get it. So now I'm like, okay, let's try and stop that from happening again, and that's GG basically. Oh, he says well played. I'm like, what do I say? So I'm say, yeah, okay, GG. Because yeah, basically over. And yeah, that was interesting game. Yeah, I made a bunch of mistakes. Like I took a risk with my Tiger at the beginning there, not sending it where I normally did, and didn't pay off. Probably would mean much better off had I sent the Tiger just straight to Charlie. So I just remember that. I just didn't make great use of my mortars. Didn't do a great job smoking or using them to hit infantry and fire support and whatnot. Didn't make great use of my M110s. Didn't fire. I just didn't keep them firing. Like that's one of the things with them. You just got to keep them firing. Aside from that, not really a whole lot else to say about this. Like my air defense was okay, and my radar micro was okay, is enough to keep my Roland 3s alive, I guess. And the Roland 3s themselves actually worked quite well. They got a couple kills, I do believe, on one of them. And my FRS came through. My KWS definitely came through. Got 2 tornadoes, or helped with getting 2 tornadoes without dying in the process. What else is this? Yeah. So basically, since this devolved basically into a close range forest fight, the UK is not good at that. That's just what it comes down to. The UK, that's not the kind of fight the UK is good at. That happened in this battle. Just because my opponent, for the most part, I just didn't give him the opportunity to leverage his fire support very well. I think that's part of it. And I just kind of more accidentally, I wound up separating my opponent from his fire support most of the time. Just a couple times with Charlie, though, where he actually had his fire support and that worked out for him. Because that's, everything, all the combat in this game, infantry combat's, about leveraging your fire support, but UK especially. I'm just fortunate he didn't bring out the AVREs, I guess. I don't know if they would have helped. Aside from that, though. Yeah. Go Peace Ride. And, I really don't have much to say about this battle. It just happened. I got lucky at a couple points, and I just didn't leverage my artillery very well. That's really the most I have to say about it. And, I guess that's all I have to say. So this was the semifinals, whatever. So I get to move on to the finals, which are best of 3. So yeah, there'll be 2 or 3 more games left in the tournament. So yeah, I'm XanderTuron, and see you guys in the next part. In the meanwhile, have a lovely day.